I would be lying to you if I said it's a beautiful day in Boise, but well, I guess it's a matter of perspective. And as I walked up here to the Idaho Anne Frank Human Rights Memorial on this overcast, raining morning, I thought maybe it's fitting, that I do this video on just such a day as this. And I've never actually been through here. I've heard about this memorial, and I thought, why not take the opportunity? I came down to Boise for an appointment, and I thought, why not take an opportunity to come through here? It says, welcome to the Idaho Anne Frank Human Rights Memorial, honoring the victims of hate, intolerance, and violence, and those who confront injustice. We invite you to enter respectfully, pause, reflect, and share its message. So I'm going to do a walk and talk through this special place here in Boise, and I'll share what I'm able to with you, including some of the quotes here. Make injustice visible. Mahatma Gandhi said that. And on July 4th, 1776, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, and that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Edmund Burke said, all that is necessary for the triumph of evil is that good men do nothing. Confucius said, what you do not want done to yourself, do not do to others. Very, very nice. Gabriella Mistral said, little feet of children, blue with cold, how can they see you and not cover you, dear God? And Anne Frank, one day this terrible war will be over. The time will come when we'll be people again, and not just Jews. Who has inflicted this on us? Who has set us apart from all the rest? Who has put us through such suffering? April 11th, 1944, Anne Frank. Henry David Thoreau said, it's never too late to give up our prejudices. Very nice. Here's a fountain that they've got, or a waterfall. Wonderful. Let my people go, Moses. And Alice Walker said, remember me? I'm the girl with the dark skin whose shoes are thin. I'm the girl with rotted teeth. I'm the dark, rotten-toothed girl with the wounded eye and the melted ear. I'm the girl holding their babies, cooking their meals, sweeping their yards, washing their clothes, dark and rotting and wounded. I would give to the human race only hope. We wish to inform you that tomorrow we'll be killed with our families. Letter from pastors in a Tutsi community to their Hutu church president, 1994, in Rwanda. The winner of the 1980 recipient of the Nobel Peace Prize, Adolfo Perez Esquivel, said, you cannot talk solely of human rights in terms of torture and imprisonment and killing. True, this is the gravest aspect, but we must also look at the case of the peasant who has no land and is dying of hunger. Boy, folks, this really is a nice memorial. I didn't think that it would be as large as it is. And look at this. Just a wonderful opportunity to do a walk and talk. And as I'm filming, there's actually raindrops coming down. There's another wall of quotes. Billie Jean King once said, everything I do is about equal opportunity, race, gender, sexual orientation. Let's get over it. Let's celebrate our differences. And Anne Frank wrote on July 15th, 1944, it's difficult in times like these. Ideals, dreams, and cherished hopes rise within us only to be crushed by grim reality. It's a wonder I haven't abandoned all my ideals. They seem so absurd and impractical, yet I cling to them because I still believe, in spite of everything, that people are truly good at heart. It's utterly impossible for me to build my life on a foundation of chaos, suffering, and death. I see the world being slowly transformed into a wilderness. I hear the approaching thunder that one day will destroy us too. I feel the suffering of millions, and yet when I look up at the sky, I somehow feel that everything will change for the better, that this cruelty too shall end, that peace and tranquility will return once more. In the meantime, I must hold on to my ideals. Perhaps the day will come when I'll be able to realize them. Anne Frank, July 15th, 1944. You know, I had the opportunity to visit the Anne Frank Museum, and it was probably one of the greatest, if not the greatest, museum that I've ever visited in my life, in Amsterdam, in the Netherlands. And to think that a young girl of her age would have the ability to share such wonderful thoughts as she did, such as this one here, on May 26, 1944. I asked myself again and again whether it wouldn't have been better if we hadn't gone into hiding, if we were dead now and didn't have to go through this misery, especially so that the others could be spared the burden. But we all shrink from this thought. We still love life. We haven't yet forgotten the voice of nature, and we keep hoping for everything. Let something happen soon, even an air raid. Nothing can be more crushing than this anxiety. Let the end come, however cruel. At least then we'll know whether we are to be the victors or the vanquished. She also wrote, if God lets me live, I shall not remain insignificant. I shall work in the world and for mankind. Fantastic. Martin Luther King, I have a dream. Wow, Mahatma Gandhi again. Be the change you want to see in the world. Mother Teresa, kind words can be short and easy to speak, but their echoes are truly endless. Anne Frank, how lovely to think that no one need wait a moment. We can start now, start slowly changing the world. Anne Frank, dear Kitty, countless friends and acquaintances have been taken off to a dreadful fate. Night after night, green and gray military vehicles cruise the streets. They knock on every door asking whether any Jews live there. If so, the whole family is immediately taken away. If not, they proceed to the next house. It's impossible to escape their clutches unless you go into hiding. They often go around with lists, knocking only on those doors where they know there's a big haul to be made. They frequently offer a bounty, so much per head. It's like the slave hunts of olden days. I don't mean to make light of this. It's much too tragic for that. In the evening when it's dark, I often see the long lines of good, innocent people accompanied by crying children walking on and on, ordered by a handful of men who bully and beat them until they nearly drop. No one is spared. The sick, the elderly, children, babies, and pregnant women, all are marched to their death. I get frightened myself when I think of close friends who are now at the mercy of the cruelest monsters ever to stalk this earth, and all because they are Jews. November 19th, 1942. Anne Frank. Boy, this really is a wonderful, wonderful memorial. Wow. There's a bench that's dedicated. Beautiful Boise, my new, relatively speaking, home here in the great state of Idaho. And somewhere here, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they actually have a sculpture of young Miss Frank. Here where you can make donations. And I see the sculpture just over yonder. Here are some more plaques. See Article 26, Article 27. Everyone has the right freely to participate in the cultural life of the community, to enjoy the arts, and to share in scientific advancement and its benefits. Not quite sure what these are articles of. I see, now therefore the General Assembly proclaimed this Universal Declaration of Human Rights. This is the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. If I'm not mistaken, this would be Eleanor Roosevelt was involved in this, having just watched a documentary on the Roosevelts. I believe that she was one of the founders of that. The best tool yet devised for improving society is freedom. Beautiful. In honor of Senator Frank and Bethune Church. I want to go on living even after my death, and therefore I am grateful to God to giving me this gift, this possibility of developing myself and of writing, of expressing all that is in me. Anne Frank, April 4th, 1944. Look at that. Wow. Here's the Rose Beale Legacy Garden. Very nice. Just wonderful. Marilyn Schuler Classroom for Human Rights. The world is a dangerous place to live in, not because of the people who are evil, but because of the people who don't do anything about it. That was Albert Einstein that said that. Wow. There's some beautiful benches here. Look at this. With dignity for all, Irv and Trudy Littman, Meg, Mike, and Liz, in memory of Catherine Hartigan, my grandmother. Not to know is bad, not to wish, to know is worse. The Reardon family. Isn't that something? Just wonderful. Idaho is too great for hate. Ada County Human Rights Task Force. Very nice. And here would be the sculpture of Anne Frank. Look at this. Give you a moment to look at it, such as I am. Got something in her hand. Wonderful. Really wonderful. Believe me, if you have been shut up for a year and a half, it can get too much for you some days. Cycling, dancing, whistling, looking out into the world, feeling young to know that I'm free. That's what I long for. There's a sculpture here. Wonderful.
Back here is in good shape. Oh, taking sound waves, I pulled it again.
Okay. Here's something. Very nice, folks. I hope you enjoyed this visit. Educating the mind without educating the heart is no education at all. Aristotle. Not quite sure what this is. It says the cabin. Perhaps it's another attraction for another video. But have a wonderful day, folks. I hope you enjoyed this walk and talk here. There's a beautiful piece from the Alan and Royanne Minchkoff family. Anne Frank and downtown Boise may seem an unlikely pairing, but the legacy Anne left for the human dignity strongly resonates in Idaho. In '95, a traveling exhibit on Anne Frank drew in tens of thousands of visitors from all across Idaho. The overwhelming interest sparked the idea for a more permanent tribute. Over the course of the next several years, a group of community leaders, human rights stalwarts, and citizens throughout the state and country worked tirelessly to bring the memorial to life. In 2002, their long-held vision was realized in the Idaho Anne Frank Human Rights Memorial, open to the public. Though inspired by Anne Frank, the memorial is not simply a static space to reflect upon her short life or even the horrors of the Holocaust. It was instead designed to actively engage us to think and to talk to one another and to respond to the human rights issues we face in our community, our country, and our world. Both the triumphs and tragedies of the human story are on display, but in every quote and every idea we see the profound power of a single voice or a bold action to overcome great odds and alter the course of history. Let the message grow. All right, folks, have a beautiful day.